Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gaming with the Cats. I'm Newt Mechanist, and tonight we are going to be playing Call of Cthulu. A little bit of an older game. I'm kind of fond of reaching back and finding things that I haven't played before. Cthulhu Mythos. It's always a fun setting, always a fun thing to explore, cosmic horror at its roots. Even better when it's not through Lovecraft's particular frame of reference. An individual known for racism and a lack of a constitution for math. All right, but before we get too much further into it, let's check in with the cats. Down in the play area, you could briefly see Sammy and there's Sherbet there. He's playing with Mason a bit. Top left, we have Sky and briefly one of the little brothers there. And then top right, we have Rorschach loafed out on the desk side heating pad. Should be in for a good night with Call of Cthulhu. Here's hoping. Imagery seems to be on target so far, but we're going to find out just starting right about now. So let's get this music stopped here, and we're going to on in and see how we go. Loading, please wait. Enter madness. If I am mad, it is mercy. May the gods pity the man who in his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. Again, it's that weird combination of aquatic imagery, death and decay. Those are two common things in Lovecraft stories. Well, this is the deep ocean and associations with it were things that Lovecraft often used for the horror imagery. I think if for no other reason than the deep sea is still something that is not largely unknown, but still contains lots of unknowns for us. Additionally, the deep reaches of space kind of things. Also, hello, maybe. Fish bits. I figured I'd look at the suggestion you had here for this. That in, it's been on sale through this Steam Screamfest stuff. So bonus value. Okay. That says bolt cutter, and I've heard those referred to as end cutters. But maybe that's a bolt cutter and the other ones are actually end cutters. Naming conventions. Chomp.
In my wake, pulled along, fate inescapably draws you on.
Fish chunks.
What a putrid offering.
Yeah, putrid seems right.
Don't fight. You have been chosen.
All boarded up.
Behold. Everything has already been written.
Ah, faceless dudes. No, somewhat faceless dudes.
But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
Some jump cuts in this.
I hate whiskey.
This is another couple of things that you see in a lot of mythos stories is, one, those sort of nightmare visions. And one of the things they do is establish that the narrator may not be reliable. That some of the horrific things that they describe and say that happened are cast into doubt by that. Is this really what happened? Is this really... Are they describing reality? The other is private investigator. And being a private investigator in a Lovecraft story is not always a good way to survive.
I wonder why I still take these things.
From the war. Doctor prescribed them when I returned from the war. They swore that they would put an end to the nightmares, but for a while now, their effect seems to be wearing off. Sleeping pills. Use with caution. Descriptive name. Somniferous.
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
Husband never understood that his wife had left him. He kept on calling me weeks after the investigation had been closed.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
Murder wall.
I should get rid of all this stuff. Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
Pierce Investigation Agency. Doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy to keep my memories at bay, but I know that if I stop, the memories will return. One of these mornings, I probably won't wake up. Despite the treatment, I again hear voices in my dreams, but they are different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient depths. What nameless creature is calling me?
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Oh, levels. Forcing doors or mechanisms, or using violence. Quickly. That hiding. Buttons, buttons. So many buttons. Try that, maybe? That might do it. Okay. Medical knowledge. Proving the skill is a chance of determining dosage of a drug, of making a diagnosis, or expressing your understandings of a medical problem. Cultism. Interesting. Okay. Wonder. Ah, okay. We have 8 character points. Ah, okay. If you haven't discovered it, it doesn't exist. There we go. This seems reasonable to me. That is true, maybe. Being in a Lovecraft setting is not the best way to survive in general.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
Enough out of you,
coming.
phone person. Shadowy figure at the door. Another good PI trope.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie.
Lovecraft
She would
story,
never
totally
have
mad.
done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look.
Or,
I
mythos
want
story.
you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
Let's see.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
Shipping label, some of it is unreadable, but you can make out that part of the address is 36 Darkwater. A lot of good details so far. Yeah, the things like the traffic in the background, period radio and devices like the phone and similar. And just, again, kind of the PI tropes of things like seeing the shadow of the person through the door, that kind of stuff. Police report, it says that the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they, nevertheless, insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why? A press article, press cutting, an article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the island of Darkwater. They live a reclusive life there with their only son, Simon. So I'm getting shades of, the eponymous Call of Cthulhu, but also, I think the Terror of Red Hook was the one with the, like artists and similar being susceptible to sort of a, like psychic influence kind of thing. And then Darkwater has some Innsmouth vibes. It was a person from here and they live in seclusion kind of stuff. So we're hitting a lot of notes.
What's this symbol on the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
So the you shouldn't take this painting lightly was an unlocked answer. So I think maybe this was like the occult knowledge or similar.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
A lot of stuff in Lovecraft's mythos takes place in New England because Lovecraft really liked New England, in no small part because of a fixation on the idea that, the past was better kind of stuff.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
Certificate of Membership, the Wentworth Agency, United States Detective Agency of Boston, Massachusetts.
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases.
The Learning of Medicine, Volume 1. Dense work aimed at interns and young practitioners. The first volume lists all illnesses known to the civilized world. All of them. It details the symptoms and suitable treatments. Oh, neat. Okay, finding things related to the traits will, I guess, increase those skills? Confident in... Okay. A sanity ticker here. Confident in your abilities in your Cartesian mind. You conduct your investigation by sticking to the facts, your convictions, and your perception of reality. Your conclusions are logical and reliable. Ship owner. Local celebrity, the heir of a ship owner family, used to travel a lot. Met Hawkins during a trip in Paris, fell in love, got married, took her to a remote island of Darkwater. Child named Simon. Lived a secretive life. Not ominous at all. Sarah Hawkins, a painter, was worshipped for the strangeness of her work and the rarity of her public appearances. I seem to remember that she once said, "I paint what my dreams whisper to me." See, marriage Charles Hawkins years ago, surprised high society columnist, a wealthy Boston heiress known for her party going, chosen to follow her new husband and live as a recluse on the island of Darkwater. She disappeared from the front pages of newspapers and nobody heard any more about her. Even her death in a fire remained a secret. Only her father, Stephen Webster, continues to seek the truth. Simon Hawkins, occupation schoolboy. Professional schoolboy. Only son of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, died in a fire that claimed the whole family. Asian agency, freaky painting. That has the look of the cultist from the dream at the beginning. And I'm guessing Sarah and Simon there. So you can see, like, right here, I would guess Sarah from the pictures. And then Simon right here, kind of crouched and clinging. Interesting.
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
Darkwater Island has been inhabited since the 14th century and is still rich with many memories left by its lost tribes. But don't let the romanticism of these moving evidences of such naive and primitive beliefs fool you into forgetting how violent their gods were. A gigantic creature still... okay, so it feels like there's some translation issues or, like, wording issues. A gigantic creature still ornates the walls of long-abandoned caves. Was it a sea or a dream god? No one knows, but today's inhabitants, the sons and daughters of the proud whale hunters, still remember the mysterious and tumultuous stories of their small land off the coast of Massachusetts. Yeah, some real Shadows over Innsmouth vibes. The idea of an isolated location, or a location that very much keeps to itself, with rumors of, like, past or strange religions. Again, we're not treading the same ground, which is refreshing.
I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
Always nice when they don't just kind of verbatim revisit an exact story.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
Old to leave. Took the Hawkins case, the cursed artist accused of having caused the fire that killed her family. Let's see, Sherbet has joined Sky up there. Oh, click to continue. Boat in the fog. Hey there, Lunar. Welcome aboard. We are just getting started with this. Is everyone having a good day today?
almost there.
Idle queue. Well, there's an ominous name for a boat, to be sure.
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
You know, it would be kind of amusing to have a dating sim with this kind of art and atmosphere.
What wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Lose. For testing purposes, okay, I can't walk off the dock. Good deal. Arbitrary Fisher. Like maybe an orca?
Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster?
You've seen how old this thing is.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Killer whales have few predators. And there are no sharks in these waters. What creature could possibly have done this?
That's no way to treat an omen. Oh yeah?
Mauled it good.
Trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
Yeah.
Don't put that
It's like,
back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
almost like there are slashes across it.
Damn stupid idiots. Forget it. Nobody listens to us.
The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
Move along. Nothing to see here.
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
Ah. And so who are you?
I didn't introduce myself. Edward Pierce, private detective.
In any case, it's not very important. I can't answer that.
You can't? Or you don't want to?
Oh, no. I'm not getting into those games, me. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand. Damn stupid idiots. Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway. That's no way to treat an omen.
It's always interesting to think about the origins of particular phrases and
You can
words.
see that I'm busy, can't you?
You can't understand. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand.
Stranded whale. No, your lanterns shouldn't have a miasma. Everything has kind of a greenish tint.
Broken. This place seems half abandoned.
Gotta work to break something like that. Just a little hammer and a bell, you know?
I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Captain, the terms of our agreement are clear. Keep your men under control. You cannot afford to provoke us. No need to answer this message. Just make your payment to the carrier. Cat. Burned a lot of coal back then? Past tense, Lunar? Boat.
The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
One second, sir. Just dragon questing your house. Yep. Finding books gives you points towards skills. Neat.
This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
Only a few dates are still legible. 1890, 1907, and a partial date. The rest of the document is blacked out. Who would want this information to be hidden? I appreciate that they actually animate him opening the door instead of the door just being telekinesed open, you know? Do you mean out on the deck as in the deck of boat? I must mean the deck of building.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
You can see half of Mason on the desk side, and you can just see an ear and a paw at the bottom there.
I know that Charles Hawkins was descended from a family of ship owners, and the island's fishing industry was hit badly.
Indeed, we specialized in whaling, but no whalers went out to sea after the miraculous catch of 1847.
So where did the Hawkins family get its money?
Well, from what Charles inherited, I presume. Although, these dates on the manifests could indicate that he had contracts of another kind.
With whom, I wonder? I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
I examined its wounds. I know of no creature able to cause them.
And I took you for a detective.
Believe me when I say that these wounds are significant.
Come. You've only just arrived on dark water, and already you think like a sailor.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. I was looking at your photograph. One of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
And to my son, I leave my wooden leg.
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
You were there
Are you
watching
being
me do it, dude.
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
We have sinister ways.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Oh, I shall. Prohibition.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
A lively atmosphere.
Hey, be careful.
Interesting choice.
Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Test of eloquence, test of strength,
You saw what happened. He's the troublemaker.
Oh, you're a true mainlander. A real princess. You strut around with your la-di-da ways, and then, as soon as the pressure arises, you start squealing. You don't have what it takes to drink my whiskey. You've got to earn it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
What do you know about the Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
I expect that would be our local protection racket person, this cat. You know, the person with the... I think it's a madam, the long cigarette holder things.
The Stranded Whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dockwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory.
Just noticed that.
We've never known
That is
such
cute.
wealth since then.
Hey there, Tass.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
Her style made her famous.
Yeah, I gotta do some more exercise myself, Tass.
Tortured?
Yeah, well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
The guy would drink a lot to suppress his nightmares, so I'm seeing what'll happen if we don't do that. Hello, Sky. Yes, hello. Yep, some intensive pats, otherwise he's going to get right up in my face. He was up in the tree for a little bit. Getting on to the time of year where they're all shedding, and Sky in particular has some longer, finer hair. But he hates getting brushed in any way. He'll attack the brush. Most of them have a great many tooth marks.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
Scylla returns to port to save Darkwater from famine. We had given up hope. The crew of the Scylla, or what remains of it, returned to Darkwater port late on Tuesday afternoon. The locals immediately rushed to the docks to welcome the last whaling ship on the island. People were amazed at the sight of the unbelievable catch the brave vessel had on board. Of a size that went beyond the formidable toothed whales, the cetacean that is already being called the miraculous catch covered the whole deck, and parts of it were hanging over the side of the ship. The surviving sailors told the frightening account of their perilous catch, but also of its meat, unmatched in its quality and plentiful nutritious benefits. Sounds like one of those old advertisements for cigarettes or particular types of alcohol. Packed with nutritional particles that will travel straight into your gut and your key your key fluids. There's no doubt that the immense size of this whale will allow numerous inhabitants of Darkwater to feed themselves, bringing an end to the famine from which part of the island was suffering. Warehouse for rent. Mr. Marks is putting his warehouse up for rent from June for fishing, workshop, or storage activities. You can contact him via your favorite newspaper or visit him on the docks. Special evening at the Stranded Whale. To celebrate the return of our brave whalers, all the staff of the Stranded Whale invite you to an exceptional and free tasting event. Come with your family or with friends to taste the miraculous catch. Each person will leave with a bottle of oil, so don't hesitate. Yeah, some definite shades of Shadow over Innsmouth. That was one of the aspects is once a particular person started going out to like a reef island, usually overnight, that the fishing in the area suddenly became much better.
And the doctor, what did he say? He laughed. My God.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
There's a particular form of singing that relies just as much on volume and enthusiasm as any part of lyric or construction.
I heard the Hawkins family owned a warehouse on the docks.
An old family of ship owners.
Tell me something I don't already know.
They were made much richer by the miraculous catch.
You shouldn't talk about the dead like that.
We're not speaking ill, we're just saying that Daniel Hawkins made a fortune without taking any risk.
There! You're speaking ill, you see.
It's your proof that the miraculous catch really did happen.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
Because one of the things they mentioned was these giant sea creature gods of the original inhabitants of the island. I wonder if the implication is they caught and killed one of the creatures,
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
What? Another break?
One of those damn sailors came looking for trouble again.
But he won't try again anytime soon. We gave him a good hiding.
So you said to yourselves that after such a feat, you could abandon your post.
It's just a little drink. We taught those guys a lesson.
We'll return right after.
Just that standing guard in this alley makes your throat dry.
That fool Fitzroy can't keep his dogs on a leash.
I'll have to send him a more clear-cut message.
Yes, this would likely be Cat, then.
What you looking at, stranger?
I've rarely seen a woman who can hold her liquor so confidently.
What gives you the right to judge me?
Ah, it was a compliment.
So what? Let me drink, stranger.
Wow. It is locked. Members of the asylum staff, apparently. Yep, having been in there and talked around, now they're, all the folks have moved over to the edge where they're attaching a winch to the whale carcass.
It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
Already
Don't put
examined
that
the
beast
whale.
back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand.
Sort of
Damn stupid idiots.
statue or something. Ah, I see. Lockpicking is an investigation skill.
Damnation, I broke it.
More ominous green glow. St. Brendan the Navigator.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
Huh.
I respect your beliefs.
Our beliefs? You mean you don't believe in God?
That's irrelevant.
That's what you think.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Very aggressively defensive, these folks.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
I ain't heard nothing about nothing.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Not suspicious at all. Crab. Before we go back that way, let's look around some more.
Where do you
Police
think
officer.
you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
What's the difference between a police officer and a private detective?
The badge?
Exactly. Apart from that piece of metal, there's nothing that sets us apart.
You think so?
We're looking for the same thing, you and I.
Okay, spare me the next verse. I'll tell you what I know. There are sailors who think that there's a beast prowling around the docks. Then again, these guys panic at the thought of bringing a rabbit onto a boat, so...
I see.
And there are others who would like to use the warehouses for their goods.
Who are they?
Sorry, I really can't talk about them.
All right, folks, going to be right back after a quick break. All right. We are back. There we go. There we go.
You again. I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
Okay, we'll need to find a alternate path in.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand.
It is nice. It's a common thing that we see, at least, you know, there was a period before, there's been a period of games that want to have a realistic or a gritty tone, having everything be in shades of brown and gray. This has the desaturated look, but there's also that sort of greenish tinge to everything. Just, you know, they had the opportunity to do the drab browns.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave.
Yeah, Lunar, it's that color choices do things, you know? Come on, Weasel. Come on, make up your mind. Make up your mind. So this is kind of like how the investigation skill worked is, but these hidden objects are one chance. If you don't detect them, if you can't detect them, they don't show up. Now, maybe if you get some way of increasing detect hidden, that you can come back and it'll reveal it again. Or it'll reveal things that you missed previously. A lever.
A handle. It must come from these old winches.
Yes, hello, Weasel. Hello. Hello. Absolutely, Lunar, and that's... I was talking with maybe earlier on, is that's a real strong theme in Lovecraft stories, is underwater. Like, outer space shows up a lot, like the depths of space, but the sea is another theme as something that is a good source of fear of the unknown. The idea of the deep ocean and sailing on it or going into it. So you'd get a lot of stories that are things like, you go down through a cave network and you arrive in a underground sea or something like that, you know? There are more hidden things to find.
A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
Still things to find. A ratchet device.
This ratchet device seems to be usable.
Yes, hello, Weasley. Hello. Says you stopped petting me. He is on my lap and, like, climbing up my chest in order to headbutt me if I have the audacity to stop. Really work my thumb in there, get his ear a good itching, you know? Yes, you're shedding a lot too, buddy. Quite a bit. It's that time of the year when you can run your hand down their back and come away with a handful of cat hair. When Bob and Tom were around, this time of year would result in what amounted to tumbleweeds. Oof. Yes, hello. See my avatar freeze with its mouth open. That's often because a cat has stepped in front of my face. Weasley demands attention. Found two things. I don't know if the last hidden thing is supposed to be the winch.
It looks like there's a way in under this grate.
So that's another mechanism is, unless you have a light, there are some things that even if you're in the position to like, pick it up or see it, you have to have the light for it to be interactable. A cogwheel.
An old cogwheel. Rusty, but in working order.
So the lower left corner, that little question mark icon now has a green check and is grayed out. So I found all the things. If there's a button for that.
I could use this old winch to lift the grating.
Cogwheel and the ratchet.
Looks like everything is in its place. All I have to do is turn this handle.
So if you saw, that was a strength check, so there might be more things like this that if I'm not strong enough, I can't use it. Or at least that's what the skill would imply, and that was a strength check would further imply. Yep, into the green miasma we go. It's methane. Boom! Oh dear. Bad stuff, that is. Alright. Middle mouse is light source. Gonna look around a little bit more and verify if there's a way for me to go in there without asphyxiating.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean, they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
Wonder if those were the two that got pummeled.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Apparently, the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type.
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
Bathroom.
This blackboard hasn't been used in a long while.
Clearly no further use for the attic. So we went through most of this. There's a book on medicine on the table. Drawers we riffled and found some papers. Because it looked like we were, getting close to passing out trying to go down in there.
Something real bad. Don't put that beast back in the water, you Come on, you can tell me.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
Okay.
Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut.
What's
with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
What happened to the statue of St. Brendan? Dreadful.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors?
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
What are you guarding, exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're guarding our boss's turf.
Yep. A couple of them can be done multiple times.
I bid you gentlemen farewell.
I'm not going to risk the cat sent me, since that is a persuasion and I haven't upped that skill.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
Talk to him further about... No, we already talked to him about cat. That's right.
She won't stop asking.
Not that again. She will get us into trouble.
I know.
Alright, let's see if she'll talk to us about the warehouse.
I told you to beat it.
Nope. Won't talk to us at all. Door is locked.
You again.
I read the article on the miraculous catch. Interesting local folklore.
Don't get it into your head to repeat that round here. It's more than folklore. On that day, the crew of the Scylla caught an exceptional catch. The biggest whale ever caught. They saved Darkwater from famine.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then,
Some repeat text.
I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
I've got
Okay.
what I need.
That
Anything
subheading
else?
doesn't have anything new in it. It would be nice if that greened out as well as a result.
That'll be all for now.
No alcohol for you, detective.
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
Oh yeah, wow. Andrews, $6. S. Winchester, $9. Captain Fitzroy, $12. And then Hawkins, at least 60, maybe 68. Kind of a bit scrawly there, you know?
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real.
And check that statue one more time, and then we're going to blithely walk down into the gas. Check over here. To no avail. But oh well. Cultism.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
Ah, okay. The face is smashed, and there's, like, green paint up and diagonal. We're gonna see if when we get down in that room, if there's anything we could grab that will let us, you know, not suffocate. Because it seems like there is a room down there, not just an entrance. There's also this wagon here, though. No, vehicle. Not a wagon at all, an automobile.
Smoke. It's coming from this oil. I hope it's not toxic.
Lot of oil. This is safe. Chest-high water. That was ominous. The Delusional Investigator achievement. That was seaweed. Alright, let's check here. Sanity. So, veteran of the First World War, where he took part in the Meuse-Argonne offensive. He is one of the few survivors of the Lost Battalion, American units that suffered heavy losses from enemy and Allied artillery fire. Forced to hold their position for several days surrounded by the bodies of their fallen comrades without food or medical supplies, the soldiers were considered lost by their fellow countrymen. Pierce is traumatized by these events. He consumes sleeping pills and liquor to ward off the nightmares that haunt him. And then mental trauma, the submerged city. While investigating the Hawkins warehouse, Pierce entered a partially submerged tunnel that ran under the docks. There, something took hold of his arm and tried to drag him beneath the surface. Drowning, the detective caught a glimpse of human and animal bodies, as well as an underground city. Pierce managed to make it back to the surface to discover that, rather than tentacles, it was seaweed that had wrapped itself around his arm. The vision, nevertheless, disturbed him by its clarity and its violence. Hey, we have 2 available character points. 4, 6... Ah, okay. You can only find objects, so raising these was a good idea. Raise our hidden objects, that seems like it's going to be valuable. Sanity gauge implies that things are going to start getting wonky. Should be interesting. Okay, more green paint. So it mentioned that on cave walls there were a lot of old paintings from the original civilization on the island. So fishes and I guess like squid-looking things. And you can see they are a lot of them holding aloft objects I don't recognize, those little double-sided things.
This is primitive.
Sneak, sneak, sneak.
Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case?
Another point. Did I accidentally put in an investigation? Yeah. Improving this skill increases your chances of understanding past events by analyzing a crime scene or an object and picking locks. That is jump down. Jump down. Enter a reconstruction scene. Ah, investigation mode.
What happened here?
Bloody cloth. Bandages and then punching a mirror. Perhaps somebody, like, having bandages on their face when they look in a mirror.
Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this?
Medical knowledge for the painkillers.
Can't sleep. I know how that feels.
The same sleeping pills that he takes.
Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins?
This guy is crying in the background.
What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here?
Yeah, this is another... This does feel even further of the whole gimmick of the Innsmouth look, you know?
Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? It smells as bad as it looks.
Yeah, these are not just old rotting fish. These are like the entrails, but also as if the fish have been torn open here. New clue, the Hawkins warehouse. Fitzroy manifests. Officially unused since Charles Hawkins' death, this warehouse recently housed a clandestine resident. Clandestine. Signs of life attest to the fact. The presence of blood-stained bandages must also be noted, probably removed from a wound, as well as pills, painkillers and sleeping pills. Moreover, the occupant seems to be obsessed with Sarah Hawkins, as attested by the presence of several documents connected to the artist's life, photograph, and a press cutting. But is the discovery of a partially charred painting recognized by Officer Bradley as having come from the Hawkins mansion? Did we talk to Officer Bradley about it? That allows all doubts to be lifted as to the link between the contents of this building and the Hawkins case. Miraculous catch. That. Yeah. Fish heads. Bits. Oh, look at those. Toothy. Lampreys had a more long look to them, you know?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Psychology. Not a strong suit.
Wound up? You mean messed up?
Dog. We don't take no lessons from the likes of you. We do our job carefully and fairly. No stone was left unturned.
Really? Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Harsh.
Why you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving.
I mean, that was a choice of where to build. That's a choice. Get into the warehouse. The place thought to be abandoned revealed some surprises, signs of recent occupation, as well as a partially charred painting. Interrupted in his searching by Officer Bradley, Pierce convinced him to join his investigation. The police officer is willing to drive the detective to the Hawkins mansion, where we rejoin our hero. Ah, okay. Yes. Explicitly, he is the one that Kat already maimed. It said that the last guy that was snooping, that she cut him a new smile, but he only smiles with his left cheek now. You can see the scar going up into a big upward arc there.
Well, here we are, Hawkins mansion.
Not at all foreboding.
The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I see no
Mansion was burnt in a fire.
or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
So many other questions.
He's clearly not doing any gardening.
You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family, so he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
Silas Winchester was one of the people with a tab at the bar.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around it, would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
Off we go.
Falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
I wonder what differences you'll have if you refuse him. Immediately veer off the trail that goes directly to the mansion.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined, but the architecture seems too recent.
Hilltop House, built in 1693 by Reverend John Whitwood. Some ominous trees. Graves.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The old caretaker must be very attached to her.
Wow. His grave, not so good.
Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins.
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Not to our knowledge. He was a well-respected personality on the island. I don't understand. Silas would never have let such a thing happen.
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a
You
minute.
know?
I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary and steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas doing such a thing.
The columns are
Even that
a
broad
touch.
baker is above that. Lord,
Poor kid.
have pity on this poor family.
Do. Oh, okay, I was going along the path.
Recently fallen. It's as if all life has abandoned the place.
As if. Wow. Very somber. Good atmosphere for this kind of game. Gives you nice opportunities for something to, like, creep up on you or to just create a suddenly more sinister atmosphere. Makes it stand out better. You could also accomplish the same thing if you did light and cheery and then suddenly scary and dark, but the light and cheery would necessitate a different color palette to really pull off.
I'll have to find another entrance.
Whoever boarded the place up moved pretty swiftly. Or at least moved it all. The groundskeeper has been busy on some things, but not others.
This entrance is still in use.
Whoa! Whoa!
You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
You haven't forgiven yourself. You stay here to honor the memory of the deceased.
That's true. I want no more violence. No more tragedy.
It's painful to be the last one left.
You don't know how right you are. Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
No, I can't let you in. The mansion isn't safe.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake.
But it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do. Go on,
Yeah,
then.
that's a
Just to
pretty
get rid of
hefty,
you.
Let's see what more.
fire axe there. Or wood axe, you know? Not a... Given that this guy was described as a pretty large dude, so let's just say, you know, full-sized man, you look at that axe head was like the size of his palm, like his hand.
Shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can
Big old
perhaps
chopper.
inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go.
In we get.
Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you.
The old caretaker, still faithful to his employers, keeps watch on the place, armed with his axe. Says Pearson Bradley managed to calm him down. I wonder if there's an alternate route that has Bradley intervene. And I wonder if you can make it so that Bradley doesn't come with you and what would happen accordingly.
Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
Who left the candle going? Who left?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me?
It is a creature.
What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins.
Get a look from the other side. Yeah, that would make sense. Yes? Got a lot of extraneous wigglies. Extraneous Wigglies is the name of a Cthulhu Mythos-themed band.
The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor.
So that's looks like an untouched slice of the critter.
Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Yeah, you see, he's the only one, like, that's the only one with a slice out of it. No signs on the kids or hers.
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door. Silas managed to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer?
It is common knowledge that he wasted away his fortune on expensive trips. What was he looking for? So, Another theme in a lot of Lovecraft stories are exotic locales. I mean, in the Lovecraft stories, it was exoticized locales, um, with a with a with a with a thickly painted layer of racism often, but locations that would, to kind of him and some of his audience, be mysterious, be things that would like
too much rubble,
provoke thoughts of something again dark and mysterious, something that they don't know about.
Something the cops missed.
So, one of my favorite aspects of Lovecraft's descriptions of himself in things like letters and whatnot was that he lacked the constitution for math. Pretty much, Lunar.
Did someone escape the fire?
Yeah, look, that's a blackened handprint, but with like raking marks.
The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker?
So that green thing was a hidden object.
If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? They had a fight. Why? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How?
Yeah, you can see the possibility of the scene extending there. Found all the hidden things. These little investigation mode things are neat.
Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee.
Wonder if there's a body in Charles's grave.
And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
The police botched this.
Much of this evidence simply contradicts the investigation's findings.
Really? Tell me about it.
I can tell where young Simon was, but not his parents. Where were their bodies found?
I can't help you on that one. Charles and Sarah's bodies had already been carried away when I got here.
Without your authorization? By whom?
Marshall, Andrews, Chief West. We never deal with cases like that, you know. So... well...
I found a bottle of whiskey. Empty.
Well, that must have been a loss for you.
No glass. I suspect one of them drank heavily to calm down. Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin. Who says that bottle hadn't been there for a while?
It would seem at least one person fled the crime scene.
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. Someone's hand slid down there. The left side has no mark. The door was open and that someone left.
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles or Sarah, they wouldn't have left their son.
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of calling for help? I don't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
I was under the impression the fire started around midnight.
Yes, Silas banged on our door around 1 a.m. Poor devil ran so hard he was almost belching his lungs out.
This clock burned before 10 p.m.
That's impossible. What you imply? Silas never would have hurt the Hawkins family. Besides, Dr. Fuller confirmed the hour of death in his report. Your clock must have already have stopped.
Dr. Fuller?
A brilliant surgeon, and a friend of the family. I'm sure he took the matter to heart. So, excuse me if I value his opinion over yours.
So be it. Let's move on. I suspect this lamp caused the fire.
That's what the investigation suggested, too.
But does your report mention the bloodstains? The lamp didn't fall, it was thrown at someone.
For heaven's sakes, no. The report doesn't mention that.
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
Gained a character point. Little bit more. Spot hidden and then investigation seem like good ones. Psychology might also be useful to bump up a little further, since psychology seems to be showing up a lot in those scenes, but we'll see.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out
watch.
what we're doing, I'd be in serious
If I turn off the light, I can't find the doorknob. Like, I can't interact with the doorknob, I should say.
This door is locked.
Another medicine book. Collection of medical knowledge and health practices in the 18th century. Actually, it only covers the so-called civilized countries. It does not deal with the influence of holistic medicines or medicines from continents considered inferior. That is time period accurate. How are we doing on medicine? Interesting. Gives you an option of various playthrough styles, you know? Or bandages.
These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose? This door is blocked from the outside. The lyrics of the drunken sailor. A sea shanty.
Circle around a bit. Wait. Came from this way, right? Yes. Saw another one of those dishes on a cable and thought I was going the wrong way. Barricaded.
An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818.
That was odd. Was it that his hand got burnt a little?
Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale.
A classic, especially for a family of ship owners.
Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music.
I expect there's a lot of pianos in the world that are kept for the same reason. Onward. Inkwells and quills.
Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla.
Hecate gets periodic mention as like cult material in Lovecraft stories. It's usually just a name drop, you know?
A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. There's something disturbing about this painting.
That looks kind of like the island off of the just past near the lighthouse island.
20,000 leagues under the sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police?
Sir, as you know, I have always held you and your family in high respect. However, I can no longer continue to close my eyes on the behavior of your wife. Last week she, again terrified my clientele. I know she means no harm, but you should place her in the care of Dr. Fuller. He alone seems to be able to make her come to her senses. If these disturbances were to recur, believe me that, although it would feel like torture, I would be obliged to involve the police. Respectfully yours, Anton Willard. It is. If you hold it for too long, it'll toast your fingers, and he briefly puts it away.
Locked.
Not locked. Kid's room.
The boys'
fork.
room.
Wonderful Wizard of Oz. weird by itself, but before it gets really weird. Wood cutout soldiers and the like.
A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer. Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed.
Not at all ominous. Or sleeping pills.
Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family?
Just needed a break, all right? The kid needed to just calm down.
What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. What will her room reveal about her? Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated resorting to such a treatment.
100 tablet tritrates, number 68. Dover's powder, something grain. Lockpick. Ah, it worked that time. As I get my hidden object done, the next thing would be another level of investigation to ensure I can get into locks like that.
Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other.
Look at it again later.
This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold.
Painting for AD was returned. The Shambler for FS. Oh, painting for Dr. Fuller for treatment.
It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve?
Smashed easels in char. Wonder if a painting was burned.
Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life.
My very dear Sarah, ever since you left to bury yourself away on that lost island, your art has been attracting increasing numbers of collectors. I beg you to send me some new paintings. The last ones, so somber and strange, moving as no other paintings have been, are selling at a premium price. Your percentage of these most recent sales is attached. Do not forget your friend, who was the first to recognize your genius and display it to the world. Affectionately yours, Maximilian L. But please, Sarah, think of the money. At least 2 horizontal slashes, maybe like a claw or something.
Locked.
A little bit of spoop there.
Bradley? Is that you?
Yeah. Those slashes going up. Gonna backtrack a bit. There was a way down. Oh, no, that was the blocked passage from before. Alright, let's approach the mysterious noise. Lots of those slashes. And more green miasma. Oh, okay. That's the oil around this place. The oil that everything is burning creates that fog from what he saw in the cave under the warehouse. The quote-unquote sewers. So it is giving off a green miasma. Oh dear. That painting looks like him.
You! Stop!
Food in a robe.
Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far. This door is blocked from the outside.
Well, the implication is he wouldn't have gone that way.
I'll cover you.
No, I'm going to keep holding the lantern, thank you. Because I can switch. Oh, torch level. See on the right-hand side?
This door was closed earlier.
This one has no restrictions other than that you'll toast yourself eventually.
Where did he go?
Must have got out some way.
No, he was here. I'm sure. Let's search this room. It looks like an old seaway map.
A lot of spots, like, out in the midst of the ocean. Like, this path right here. How it seems to swing way up. Like, goes out to a point in the middle of the ocean and then swings up to another one. Oh, nice.
Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well.
Maybe that was supposed to be a painting of Hawkins. Fitzroy, and then... I wonder if the third man is the doctor that they mentioned.
I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. It looks like a freehand map of dark water. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why.
So we have the wreck of the Scylla. Then it's like an island over here. Hard to spot what's where.
The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. As if the bookcase has been moved several times.
Secret door.
This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism.
Wonder if those coordinates are what we're looking for.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Charles Hawkins was keeping her father's letters from her.
Okay, the Scylla's paths are the solid line. Alright, these are the various different ships. Wonder if those were like whaling spots, you know?
This Dr. Fuller, was he Sarah Hawkins' therapist?
Man, that's some fine, fine scribble. Charles, I understand your worries, but I assure you that Sarah is in good hands here at the Riverside Institute. It goes without saying that her state requires very specific care and a high level of attention. Her full potential will only be able to express itself if she is placed in a secure environment and surrounded by qualified staff. The decision is yours, of course, but I seem to understand that you are running out of time. Your friend, Thomas Fuller. So, yeah, there are asylum workers, and I expect the Riverside Institute is that. But the talk of to make her to get her full potential, not for her to seek treatment. $33.53 and $57.51. There we go.
Looks like it worked.
33.53, that point out in the middle of the ocean. Well then. Mysteries. Tunnels under Hawkins Mansion. Apparently the guy was trying to steal a painting, according to something in that
Secret
scene.
passage.
Oh,
Under
okay,
the
that's what
manor.
he had along his road.
Like a detective novel.
Expert level of hidden. Let's do that so that we can hit expert on investigation.
That guy must have already gotten far.
Yeah. And he had a direct means of entry to the crime scene. We must find him. 3 seats.
Look. Someone's been here recently.
A disfigured saint. What does it mean?
Well, it's not ominous at all. There we go. Wasn't fully in investigation mode.
Did Charles Hawkins use this place? Who were the others?
Faceless men.
Whatever Charles Hawkins hid here, he didn't want it in his house. What is this mask supposed to represent?
Got a, looks like a plant look to it, but with eyeballs.
This piece of cloth is unmistakably from a dress.
Ah.
Sarah Hawkins. Was she hiding from someone?
It's if my spot hidden weren't high enough, I wouldn't have been able to get that one. Still more to be found. Oh, here we go.
Whoever was sitting here could have seen Sarah Hawkins. Could this be related to her death?
Interesting. Yeah, from the looks of it, I'm guessing that Charles was burned in that in the fight that happened and fled, but and that's why we see all those bandages around the in the warehouse. And that the altercation happened because she was spotted down here.
This padlock is too complicated for me.
Yep. I do not have the investigation skill to open that. Deep into the earth.
Of course.
And something tells me that the key is climbing these steps. There's tunnels all over this island.
You can see the guy walking further down through.
There's got to be other entrances.
The passage continues further down. Might as well start with that.
I ain't gonna squeeze in there. I'll find another way. If possible, I prefer not to ruin my uniform.
Fine, fine. Go look for another entrance. I'll try my luck down below.
That officer has set his priorities. Wading around in mysterious water again. See what kind of crazy we get this time, you know? That's the way we squeeze through. And that's the way that we are blocked from returning.
Some kind of dream catcher. If I touch it, it'll turn to dust.
Like that one. It's made of jawbone.
These paintings must be several centuries old.
Got people, stuff around the island, maybe? Yeah, this is another image. Like, this was in the book about Darkwater. This giant creature. I'm wondering if this is the thing that was caught for that miraculous catch.
This monstrous creature must be an allegory. These people lying down. Are they dead? Are they asleep?
They're gonna get launched upon by the big critter.
These buildings seem to have come out of the water.
Ancient sunken city, which was referenced in the hallucination in the tunnel between warehouses. And jump. Cannot be opened from the other side either. Over there is where we spotted the dude.
Time has weakened these structures.
Time has weakened these structures is code for one of these planks is going to break.
I don't have time to search them all.
More of the green oil.
This oil again. What is it used for?
Seems like it's noxious when it's burned. Even beyond just like soot and what have you. This guy and one of the littles sleeping up there in the tree. Like a hooded, tentacled thing carved into the wall. Now, alternately, the implication could be that the rock formed around it, but carved into the wall seems more plausible. Sometimes they pull that older than time itself kind
What's
of
going
vibe.
on here?
Piers!
Keep your voice down. We're not alone.
Good God. What have you got me into?
We'll see. I'll go on. Try to go down on your side.
Yeah, there's a passage. I'll meet you at the bottom.
I'm hearing some Ia and some Fatagan. Let's find out if we get some Cthulhu, too. blood channels.
A table for sacrifice? A mass grave.
Oof. The rip in its side like that is akin to what was on the Orca. Yeah, I think that's a painting of Charles. And that was the painting that was supposedly taken by the hooded dude. That could be a painting of him. The hair could be him. Well, the pit of horror.
I got it. Oh, I can't breathe.
Panic attack.
Happening?
Flee the place as fast as you can. Can I? Nope.
No, damn it! I must find a way out of here.
Fog is closing in. While I was down in there.
Is it my turn?
Yes. It is time. You will soon be one of us. If your body and mind are ready.
I dream of it every night. I have constant visions. I am ready.
Good
You're
enough.
not ready.
Prove it to us.
It's like in my dream.
For those that came in a little late, he's referencing the dream that is the opening scene in the game, and he wakes up in shock.
It seems to have been used recently. Probably some sort of ritual.
It's got the look of, like, maybe worked bone, but it's like it's one piece of something. Maybe some interlocked pieces, but still. It's a weird shape. Hey, we got some occultism progress there.
I can't read Latin.
Annotated Bible. And how much occultism progress was that worth? 5%. Definite difference in brightness. Well, I don't know what the symbol on them is, but they're red, so they probably explode. As is tradition. I mean, alternately, those crates move faster than other crates, but I don't feel like... I mean, that said, that marking is kind of orky. So perhaps they do go faster. Okay, spasming on the altar there.
You who sleeps, accept this dreamer under your immortal wing.
Ya Cthulu Nithsiha Fitag.
Yep. Part of, similar to the classic chants.
And accept his, so that his body and yours may be one.
Yibithink Hupadk Cthulu Bithinkor.
grant him your mind and accept his, so that his mind and yours may be one.
Yeloig padk Cthulu loigna.
Interesting take on the Cthulhu statue. Normally it's the crouching gargoyle style.
Your souls finally intertwine.
Yor el Cthulu Kashag.
Let his soul guide you to us, just as your dreams guided it to you.
Yor el Cthulu Bog Shug.
Let your dreamers open the way, so that the day finally comes when you will awaken.
La Cthulu Nafal Fatagan.
Twitch, twitch. Okay. Wanted to make sure we went through the whole sequence. Crouch so that I'm invisible.
I feel him.
You are gifted indeed. Not another word. Let him pass through every part of you. Oh, bring me more sacred flesh. For your return into the kingdom of the earth.
Dead? This ritual killed him. Where's the sense in that? Again, this primitive writing.
We are ready for the ceremony. What about your protege?
His awakening is complete. He will join you shortly.
Yep, very much like in his dream. Yep.
Bradley, what are you doing here?
I saw two odd-looking guys coming down. Seemed up to no good. What in the world is this?
An intruder!
Oh, shit!
Don't move! Police! Don't move! I won't hesitate!
Bradley, get back!
Shoot.
Get back!
You asked for it!
Yep, that was the guy in some of the paintings at the mansion.
You shouldn't have seen this.
Oh no. Charles.
It's caving in. I need to get out of here.
Terror at Red Hook has a similar sequence where you're crawling way down into the earth. And then there's the panicked flight back up.
My leg. Ah.
Well, somebody went squish.
Light. At last.
I get the feeling that Squidly Diddly did not get squished in the rockfall. They witnessed a strange ceremony led by Charles Hawkins, very much alive. Bradley tried to arrest him, but Hawkins, whose body displayed various mutations, disemboweled the police officer. As he tried to escape from him, Pierce found himself prisoner of a rockfall. Rushed to the Riverside Institute, he is in a critical state. Rolling along on a gurney. Well, that was a glowy syringe. That would be the third man, Dr. Fuller.
He's having a seizure.
He will survive. A strong subject.
Bonus points for them not giving the doctor a German accent.
You saved him, Fuller.
I can't get up.
Don't move, Pierce. You can certainly say that you gave us a scare.
What did you do to me? Undo these straps!
Whoa, go easy, my friend.
You were dead. He killed you.
Are you sure he's better?
He was dead. Me too, we were dead. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, my friend.
What? No!
Interesting. Definitely leaning into the unreliable narrator vibe.
What happened to me? Where am I?
The vents are leaking that green miasma.
Mr. Sanders, you have to come with us.
No, please. I can't hear you.
You got no choice, Sanders, and neither
This
do we.
foul gas again.
If I go out, he'll see me. No!
You're leaving this cell.
I don't want him to find me.
Elder signs. Those stars with the marking inside. Though usually it's drawn in a particular way. Like it's sort of a swirling thing. You can't escape. And now we wait. And we're in a different place and kind of wobbly. They didn't leave us with our nice little lighter. So very rude. Shamble, shamble, shamble.
They tracked and hunted me, pursued me right into their dreams. They scrawled all over their maps in the wake of my lonely wanderings.
They look like... I don't know. Man, them some old school drips.
No sea is dark enough to hide the color of my blood. No wind strong enough to scatter my dreams.
Yeah, definitely the impression that they managed to hunt down the big sea monster in those pictures.
When the last of them rises up, you will choose. I will not be here to bear witness to it, because you will have released me. But the earth will resound to your cries, or theirs. Awaken and free me.
You there. Wake up. Come on, stand up. We don't have much time. Can you stand up?
Who are you?
A friend of Ethan Bradley. It was he who told me that you had been interned here.
Wait. Bradley is really alive? I don't understand. You filled me so full of drugs I can't distinguish dream from reality.
Please believe that I have nothing to do with these disgraceful treatments. Look, I don't have time to explain everything. I'm not really supposed to be here. And the same goes for you, according to Ethan. You must leave as soon as possible, and as unobtrusively as possible. I've brought you your clothes. Let me go ahead. We'll meet upstairs.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? What do they do to the patients to make them so terrified?
I would really like to know. I only see them when they are brought up for medical treatment, for problems they didn't have before going downstairs. But this is neither the time nor the place to talk about that. We must not stay here. There are 2 men standing guard near the stairs. It's the only way to the floor above. I shall try to distract them, and get at least one to come with me. All you need to do is to follow me as soon as the way is free.
Understood.
Interesting. The hurricane lamp and the lighter back.
What does this mean? Sarah. Am I in an asylum? What did they inject him with? In his eyes, this symbol must have some protective virtues.
The paintings are cursed.
What did he write about the painting?
Huh. In this image, his face is all sliced up.
Sarah Hawkins is on this list of authorized visitors.
Interesting. Curiouser and curiouser.
If I don't get out of here, I'll end up like him.
Huh. Would you like red lumps with orange sauce or gray lumps with yellow sauce?
Poor wretch.
Surprised to see you, but we all know that your curiosity will be your ruin.
I don't understand. These people need care. You keep them in this terrible place as if...
Go back upstairs where your patients are waiting for you to treat them. As for you, gentlemen, do not disappoint me anymore. No one enters or leaves.
Yes, Doctor.
They suspect your presence. A white marker appears, changes to red.
Myself.
I told you not to let her come down.
I know. If we do it again, all right. I know.
The machine is working again, but the control wheels haven't been put back on.
I was just going to the storage room. I can bring them to you.
No, Dr. Fuller doesn't want us touching the pressure valves.
As you want. I'm gonna see if there's sleeping pills left. They've run out again upstairs.
Put a few aside for me, will you? And above all, leave the wheels where they are.
I feel convinced that I have some wheels to mess with. Oh dear.
Good God. What could this machine be used for?
Wow. Medical record of Francis Sanders. According to this record, the patient seems to have suffered from psychosis. He gouged his own eyes out in an attack of delirium. Oof.
It's an ammeter. I didn't expect to see one on this little rock.
Danger,
This
high
machine
voltage.
seems to consume a great deal of electricity. What will happen if I increase the current to the limit?
Alright, we have a hide and panic mechanic.
The corpse is complete. Whose are these limbs? Is there a connection between this corpse and the machine?
More of the green liquids.
Worse and worse.
Goo.
What's the connection between this meat and the electrical installation.
Meat with extra eyes.
Vats of rotten flesh? An elaborate electrical system? Like a dumb pulp novel. Do the cops know what's going on?
Yeah, we need to, I get the impression that, Officer Bradley won't have his badge.
I can still increase the load. Have I activated anything? I can still increase the load.
Alright, one of them has been amplified. Green one goes over here. Okay, yeah, the green one went down the hall.
It's done. Now for the others.
One, two, three, four, 5, 6.
What is welling up inside me? I feel it in my head and in my body. Who's there? It swells. It has...
You. Yeah, you there. Come here.
It's locked.
He'll fight. He can see me.
Let's calm down, please. Pain is just information, dear Francis.
It's locked.
Invaluable information for my research.
Kill me. Kill me.
What?
Note to staff, last week's incident caused significant damage to the infrastructure, putting a stop to current experiments. This is unacceptable. From now on, the wheels to operate the gas stopcocks must be kept in the storage room after each use. Moreover, you must keep the register of use up to date. Please stop trying to explode my place of work.
The green gas leaves from here and it runs through the whole
I fear
building.
your mind is lost forever.
This valve controls the pressure.
Dr. Fuller, I've repaired your machine as best I can. However, the piping has been damaged and I fear that gas is escaping. I cannot do any more in such a short time. All I can do is to warn you, if the equipment is put under too much pressure, there is a risk of explosion. Explosions! It's right up our alley, folks. Okay, there's one of the valves.
It's impossible to break this chain with my bare hands. A duct.
We overpressure as many of these as we can.
This padlock is too complicated for me.
Wonder if we can do anything now that we've upped it like that.
It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Once you try, you're out of luck. Nope.
This padlock is too complicated for me.
Hey, this way.
Nope. Okay, you can get full game overs. Go a little longer. See how far we can get through the asylum here.
It's no use. The padlock won't give.
More medicine knowledge?
This way.
I saw something over there.
I'll go take a look.
The door is blocked on the other side.
I'll go take a look.
Pseudo stealth sequences. Nope, we're dead.
You there!
Okay, no, you can just ditch them, I guess. Two of them yet, but
Zoology, esotericism, mineralogy, and Sarah Hawkins. She was a patient here.
fits of insanity a while before her death. She wasn't at her first attempt with the fire at the mansion.
That Dr. Fuller again.
Document attesting to the fact that Irene Sanders, wife of Francis Sanders, had her husband interned after he had shown grave signs of madness. Okay, so maybe that was Francis Sanders in the room all carved up?
Anatomy, anthropology, nothing surprising.
Get me out! If he does not catch me, if he does not catch me, I do not sleep.
You. Yeah, you there. Come here. I don't know what you're doing there, but you don't seem to be.
I think we got a walker. This way.
Carnage.
Nope.
Theoretically, I've only got one lever to push.
You there!
We know where it is, but there's a guard standing right in front of it.
It's no use. The padlock won't give. It's locked.
Started, but just to make sure. Breviary of Medicine, Tome 1.
A control wheel to mount on a plumbing system.
If he does not catch me,
Get me out! Don't let me sleep in here.
catch him, I sleep. If I sleep, am I dead?
Locked.
Administration will probably get us the keys.
I'll go take a look. Hey! You won't get far.
That was narrow. Don't know how much further we're going to get. Yeah, I think we've got to get into admin.
I'll go take a look.
Dang it.
I saw something over there.
Who's there? This way!
Alright, one last try. I can't say I'm ever fond of this kind of mechanic. It tends to feel really strained, you know? And sadly, some of the pickups and whatnot are not checkpointed items. They are, like, the books and what have you. At least that seems to be the case. Okay, that is the I think I see something animation.
A control wheel to mount on a plumbing system.
Who's there? Saw something over there. Who's there? You there?
Nope. All right. Well, we'll probably wrap it up to there for the night. It looks like we're just going to have to figure out where some of them path and how to get to it. You have to go through the kitchen to get that wheel. I'm wondering if attaching the wheel will count as a checkpoint. Because if it does, then we're in much better shape. Unfortunately, any like walking or use of a light will almost immediately get their attention. And I accidentally middle clicked and brought out the lantern and got ourselves spotted that time. Yeah, we'll wrap up there. I do want to thank everybody for watching with us tonight. I think this one has some potential. We're going to try it at least once more this week. We'll see how far it goes. If it ends up that it kind of devolves into this sort of hide in locker stealth, let's call it, then we may be done. The other 2 days of the week, well, 2 more days of the week will be Outer Wilds. We're going to see how much further we can get with that. Whether we continue with it will be based on the progress that we make over time. It seems like one that's pretty solid, so Outer Wilds probably still has some legs. And then on Saturday, we're going to do Catbot Noida as always. So again, thanks everybody for watching. And I want to give a special thanks to my supporters on Twitch and Patreon. Their names are scrolling there on the right. I am starting to stream a lot more on YouTube. So if you'd like to, if you do have a subscription on Twitch and you'd like to keep supporting me on a platform that I am still active on, then Patreon will be a better one. I may return to Twitch now and again, and it's a matter of, I'll accept the subscription either way, if that's something that you're able to do and want to do. But since I'm not streaming as much on Twitch, depends on where you want to put your money for which sort of benefit, as there won't be Twitch ads to negate. But yeah, if you'd like to see any more of my content, my YouTube channel does also have shorts and VODs from other streams, as well as some highlights. I mirror all my shorts over to my TikTok channel. All of my channels are Newt Mechanist. Again, thanks everybody for watching, and I do hope you have a good evening.